everybody. All right, well, thanks everybody for being here today, taking some time for us to share an update on where things were at. Certainly unprecedented times for our organization, city, for the country, for the world. Very fluid situation for us, and you know, it's not a day by day, it's a minute by minute, hour by hour situation, and certainly since the announcement of the pause of the NHL season yesterday. What we want to do today is provide a business update from Tom Anselmi. We had planned on obviously having Ken Holland available as well. Don't have a ton of updates from a hockey perspective. Still waiting on direction from the NHL, waiting for some more information about, you know, access to the ice, to the facilities. So we're going to make Ken available likely early next week, Monday or Tuesday, when we have that direction and can provide you guys a fulsome update. So that's the plan on that front. So I'm going to turn it over to our business president and COO, Tom Anselmi. He's going to make some opening comments, and then we can have questions from the floor. Thanks.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks everyone for being here. I don't have a prepared statement, but just share a few thoughts early on here, and then open it up for questions. Tell you what, I've been around the NHL a long time, and the NBA, and this is really unprecedented. We've been immersed in it for probably 3 days. A changing landscape by the minute. We've been, talking to the league on a regular basis, as well as, local and provincial health officials, trying to really gather information and move forward. We supported the league's decision to postpone play. We're still very hopeful that we're coming back and playing some or all of the balance of the regular season, the playoffs this spring, and we're going to be ready for that. Right now, our focus is really on the health and welfare of our fans and our players and our staff, and being prepared for when hockey returns. But I'll tell you what, it's I don't have Tim talked about Ken. We're still waiting for a lot of direction on the hockey side while the league is working through things with the PA. I don't have a lot more to tell you on the business side either. To be perfectly honest, we're learning minute by minute here and really trying to move on the fly. But suffice to say, unprecedented times, and welcome any questions to the extent we can provide some answers.
Great. Up front here, Mark, go ahead.
Thanks, Mark. So as of last night, I think it was, Live Nation and AEG both came out and said they're suspending any touring. So, for all intents and purposes, we don't have anything going on in the building. As it relates to all of our staff, we're still thinking through all of that stuff. I started by saying the health and welfare of our people and our fans and our players is paramount. We're trying to figure all of that out on the staffing side. We're talking to all the other teams. We're talking to the league, trying to figure out what everyone does. But suffice to say, we're still very hopeful that hockey's coming back, and we're going to play a lot of hockey and a lot of playoff hockey this year, and get everyone back to work as quick as possible.
Ryan?
So I'm Ryan Michelle with TSN. Season ticket holders may be wondering what happens if games get carved off the schedule this year. What happens to the money they've invested, potential playoff tickets? I know there's some answers you don't have, but what can you tell season ticket holders about their investment?
Well, what I can tell them is stay tuned, and we're working through all that right now. Our guys were on a call with the league yesterday, late afternoon, trying to sort through all that. And of course, it's different for everybody, whether you're a season ticket holder, a suite holder, a sponsor, a single ticket buyer that bought a game 3 weeks out from now. So we're trying to work through all of that. We got a little bit of background from previous work stoppages on how to manage that. So that's kind of in the pipeline right now. We'll probably have some announcements to make sometime in the next couple of days, hopefully.
Yeah. Derek, go ahead.
Derek, I was supposed to be. I was trying to ask about, is the initial plan to play the rest of the schedule and maybe move it back 2 weeks, or what were the discussions when it comes to the schedule and proceeding forward, or you just have to chop 2 weeks off the schedule and then start the playoffs? What was the initial discussion?
There's been no plan right now. The league is presumably looking at all kinds of different options, but obviously, when you don't have an end date here, it's difficult to predict anything. So I'm sure the league's going to look at a variety of different options once we've got some more clarity on when we might come out of this thing at the other end.
Terry, go ahead.
Hey, Terry.
Is it your intention to test your part-time and full-time staff in the next few days?
Terry, we're taking all our cues from EHS right now. So we literally put a fact sheet together today, I think, or last night, that's going out for all our staff tomorrow on whether they can work from home and what to do if I don't feel good and all those kind of things. Whether we need to test people or not, I'm not sure. We're going to take direction, obviously, from the health officials on all of that. But, I heard a statistic not too long ago that at some point in time through this process, as many as 50% of Canadians might be touched by this virus. And so, so we're going to look to the health officials to tell us, do we need to test everybody? Is it when you're symptomatic? I mean, we just don't know all of that yet.
Daniel, let's go.
Daniel Roman from The Athletic. Tom, you talked about obviously safety for the fans, and Wednesday night when the NBA had announced that it was canceled midway through your game, was there any kind of push or thought to try to get that game postponed mid-game against the Jets?
Sorry, get our game postponed mid-game? Well, I think we were learning about that about halfway through the third period or something. So I don't really think that was top of mind. And again, I mean, I keep going back. We're looking to the NHL to guide us here. They've got 31 partners to worry about, and we're one of them. And we're taking a lot of direction from them right now, and support everything they've done so far.
Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Is there any kind of estimates about, potential lost revenue that we have?
Well, we have a pretty good handle on how our business operates, but that's like asking how long a rope is, right? Until we know, whether we've lost games or not, it's kind of it's almost an irrelevant exercise. So, our focus right now really is trying to figure out, what are we doing with our fans, what are we doing with our people, working with the league and giving them the information they need so that they can make the decisions they need to make. Ken and the guys are waiting for all kinds of direction on the player side, and the league's working through it with the PA. So just a lot of balls in the air right now, and we're 24 hours into this, right? So it's still a very much a moving target.
Jason.
Jason Greger, TSN 1260. The season ticket renewal date is, I think, March 21st. Are you planning to extend that date, or are you expecting season ticket holders to have to renew by then?
Good question. Probably end up extending it, although I haven't talked to Stu in the last 15 minutes about it, but we're still renewing tickets. Yesterday we had a whole pile of renewals come in yesterday, so thanks to all our fans. We've got such great momentum right now, both on the ice and off the ice, that we'll probably do whatever we can to make it as convenient as possible for people to stick with us and be ready for when we get back in biz.
Jim, over here.
It's nice to say the NHL says keep some dates open in July, maybe. How difficult is that? That's 2 months down the road. Maybe a concert's already booked in there, all sorts of stuff. Usually nothing's involved hockey in July.
Well, I guess we'll all be going to work in flip-flops, Jim. All the concert folks right now are looking for alternate dates from us. As I said, they've suspended touring, so everything seems to be shifting downstream a little bit here. So, but hockey takes priority here on our scheduling. So, we'll find dates if that ends up where the league ends up being. We'll find the dates.
I guess if the Laker tournament is played in August, I guess hockey can be played.
Hockey's good all year long.
Rob, go ahead.
What are the players being instructed to do during this time? Are they told to stay in isolation? Are they being asked to practice?
All we know right now is they've been asked to stay home, and the guys are waiting for further direction as the league works through that with the PA.
Ryan
Ryan.
Sharp, TSN again.
Hey, Ryan.
The league has said that they're not going to mandate that players get tested, just sort of follow the medicine if they have symptoms. To your knowledge, are any of your players either self-quarantined or any of your staff, and has anybody been tested to your knowledge within the organization?
The only thing I know about is we had a couple of people just come back from a holiday in Hawaii, and so we've asked them, and they've agreed to stay home for 14 days because that's the recommendation of the HS. And you'll have to ask Kenny on Tuesday about the players. I mean, all I know is they've been asked to stay home and refrain from, being out.
Daniel?
Just to follow up on Rob's question, when you say home for the players, is that here in Edmonton or homes throughout where they come from?
I think it's home here in Edmonton.
Okay, and just another question, just regards to, I know hockey seems to be secondary at this point, but this team has done very well this year, obviously on the cusp of the playoffs. This seems like possibly the worst time for something like this to happen to the Oilers, and that being you agree, or what are your thoughts on that?
Well, listen, life throws curveballs, right? And in the context of what's going on around the world right now, it's hard to, focus on anything other than let's get this world healthy again. At the end of the day, I mean, we've all been through, work stoppages and 9/11 and SARS and all these type of things, and we'll get through this and we'll come out the other end and we'll be stronger for it, all of us. And the interesting thing, and I heard somebody talking about this last night, that when 9/11 happened, sports was a real escape for people, and the World Series really helped New York heal. And interestingly, we don't have sports to help us with that this time, so we're going to have to kind of band together and do it together. And I think we will. We're going to end up okay out of this, but it's a speed bump, but it's a big speed bump, and let's get past it.
Time for a few more. Sarah, go ahead.
Sorry. We've got nothing planned right now. Like I said, we're looking at all the different options, but at the same time, right now, our focus is, this is going to be some sort of short-term pause, and we're going to get back to playing hockey. We know we're getting back to playing hockey. The question is when, and so we're sort of planning for every eventual scenario, but we've got nothing cemented right now.
Jim?
Went through your mind when you heard the NBA player tested positive that tested positive in basketball, was the test positive for players?
Well, I think when we first heard that, I think that was when the NBA made the decision that they were going to suspend play, and I think all of us, suspected that we weren't too far down the road from the NHL, and there was, we all saw a bit of a tipping point that happened yesterday where, once one of us jumped off the cliff, we all knew that we had to and knew that it was the right thing. And I'll tell you what, I applaud all these leagues, whether it's Gary Bettman and Adam Silver and their help, or the minor league team in Prince Albert that had to make a tough decision the other day. I mean, and Hockey Canada and all of us. I mean, this is the right thing to do until we get the league world back on track.
Rob, just a couple more. Yeah.
I don't know that. You'll have to ask Ken that next week. Yeah, I don't know.
Where are we at? Jonesy?
I assume you've been in communication with Darrell Smith. Can you inform us of that conversation?
Yeah, we've been in contact with Darrell several times a day, obviously, for the last several days. And, he's like the rest of us. He's concerned about the health and welfare of everybody, fans, players, the people in the world. He's concerned about getting hockey back on track as soon as possible. He's given us, clear autonomy to do what we need to do what's right for the business and right for our fans, and that's what we're doing. But we're talking to him all the time, yeah.
Tom, last one.
Tom Guzzola, TSN 1260. Tom, just kind of further to what Sarah was asking, you saw the Devils today throw a statement like for game night staff that will be taking care of them. Have you guys gone far down that road in discussing how you're going to go about handling potential workers that are missing dates here moving forward?
We haven't, and I'm aware of, we've started to do some of the homework. I've been talking to the other teams, and so we're aware of, what the Mavericks said, and we're aware of what came out of New York, and we talked to a couple of other teams, and, for the most part, nobody has a real plan yet. We're just, we're all sort of thinking through it, but, it's important that we do think through it and do what's right by our employees. And listen, everybody in the market, in every business, this is going to have global repercussions in the economy around the world. We get that, and whether it's us or whether it's the guy that runs a corner store down the street. And so, so we're not taking that lightly, and we understand we got employees here that have families and the like, so we got to think through all that stuff.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much, Tom, and we'll provide updates as we can. As you said, very fluid situation. As Tom reiterated, we're focused on the health and safety of our people at this time. More information to come, and when we do have that, we pledge to provide it to you. So thank you.
Thanks, guys.